Laging tinatanong ng frontline teams kapag may bagong continuous improvement program, bakit natin to ginagawa? At bakit ko kailangang maging Yellow Belt certified? Well, to really get the big picture, kailangan nating silipin ang financial DNA ng business. If you're running an operational system, lalo na kung nasa high-volume digital shared services hub kayo, every single delay, every error, at every piece of process waste ay may direktang katumbas na dollar value. Literally, walang nasasayang na oras na hindi tumatama sa bottom line ng kumpanya. Tingnan natin kung paano natin bubuin ang kaalamang ito.
Here is our syllabus for today. Magsisimula tayo sa the quality cost time triangle. Susundan natin ang cost of good quality at cost of poor quality. Pagkatapos, we will break down the Lean Six Sigma fusion at tatapusin natin sa the financial bottom line. Let's build your operational foundation.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the Quality Cost Time Triangle. Ito yung mismong tatlong haligi ng operasyon ninyo.
Look at this fundamental operational triangle, di ba? Common myth sa mga supervisors na para makatipid o mapabilis ang trabaho, you have to sacrifice service quality. Well, Lean Six Sigma completely shatters that myth. Ang true quality dito doesn't just mean being nice to the customer. It means absolute 100% structural accuracy. Ibig sabihin, nakukuha ka ng perfect 100% score sa QA compliance audit o kaya zero errors yung massive data transfer mo sa unang sabok pa lang. First time right, always. Upang makita to ng mas malinaw, kailangan nating itugma ang ating mga operational definitions.
Ang crucial point dito is clearly defining our terms. Kailangan nating paghiwalayin ang labor cost, meaning yung aktwal na oras na binabayaran natin sa empleyado para magtrabaho, kumpara sa total lead time. Ang total lead time is strictly kung gaano katagal naghihintay ang customer mula sa pag-place ng request hanggang makuha nila ang final deliverable. Isipin nyo yung pila sa drive-thru ng Jollibee o kaya yung paghintay ng external client's resolution ng isang BPO ticket based sa SLA nila. From the customer's perspective, the clock is ticking. Kaya naman, ano ang mangyayari kung hindi natin na-manage ang in-process variation?
Kapag unscientific a management approach, they just force people to work faster. But the Lean Six Sigma logic shows us na itong tatlong forces, quality, cost, at time, are deeply interconnected. Kapag may high variation sa process mo, you end up doing the work twice. Ito yung tinatawag nating rework. At yung rework na yan ang literal na nagpapalobo ng labor costs at nagde-delay sa customer lead times. Pero, by targeting quality and stabilizing the process first, naturally nating na-eliminate ang rework. Drop the rework and you drop the inflated costs. Plain and simple. Ngayon, paano natin ito isasalin sa usaping pinansyal?
Moving to Section 2, Cost of Good Quality. Pag-usapan natin ang mga proactive investments para sa kalidad.
Bilang isang certified practitioner, you absolutely have to speak the language of your executives. And we do this using the cost of quality framework. Look at this 2x2 matrix. Ito, nagpapakita kung paano nahahati ang total quality-related expenditures ng isang business. Sa kaliwa, nandoon ang good quality at sa kanan ang poor quality. Tapos, hati rin siya into proactive investments at reactive na gastos. Let's zoom in muna on the Category A investments mula sa matrix na ito.
Let's break down these Category A investments. Ito yung proactively controlled budget para siguraduhing tama ang trabaho on the very first attempt. Sa kaliwa, we have prevention costs. This is where modern tools really shine. For example, using Microsoft Copilot to rapidly draft robust onboarding SOPs for new hires or setting up automated software guardrails sa inyong CRM system. Tapos sa kanan, we have appraisal costs. Ito yung binabayaran natin for ongoing inspections tulad ng QA analyst salaries. If you want to lower manual labor here, pwede kayong mag-build ng Power Automate flows para ma-reduce ang manual auditing efforts. It's smart spending. Pero ano naman ang mangyayari kapag nagtipid tayo sa Category A?
That brings us to Section 3, Cost of Poor Quality. Let's look at the unbudgeted financial waste or MUDA, bleeding out of your operations.
Ito ang cost of poor quality. Sa kaliwa, we have internal failure costs, yung gastos para ayusin ang defect bago pa man ito makarating sa external client. Isang magandang halimbawa sa BPO ay kapag ang isang agent ay kailangang gumawa ng isang expensive callback kasi may nakalimutan siyang verification steps sa initial contact. Sa kanang naman is the most dangerous one, external failure costs. Ito kapag nakalusot sa QA ang defect at tinamaan na ang customer. The catastrophic example here, contractual SLA financial penalties mula sa client o kaya tuluyang pag-churn ng account ninyo. Tingnan natin ang aktual na financial impact kapag gumawa tayo ng estratehikong shift.
Here is the actual financial shift generated by Lean Six Sigma. Kapag unmanaged ang operations mo, nag-aaksaya kayo ng napakalaking budget just reacting to failures. But the logic is clear. Kapag kumuha tayo ng maliit na fraction ng nasasayang na perang yon and shift it to prevention and appraisal, tulad ng targeted training at automated controls, drastically nating mapapabagsak ang failure rates. Ang result sa ikatlong bar, your total cost of quality literally plummets, saving the business thousands of dollars. Ngayon, sino ang magmamaneho ng transformation na ito?
Let's dive into Section 4, Lean Six Sigma Fusion. Tuklasin natin kung paano nagiging driver ng change ang inyong empowered frontline staff.
Para maintindihan ang modern problem solving, we must break down two distinct methodologies. Sa kaliwa, lean thinking. Galing ito sa Toyota and it's deeply focused on speed, flow at pag-compress ng lead time sa pamamagitan ng pag-shrink ng batch sizes. Sa kanan is Six Sigma. Nakaugat ito sa Motorola and GE and it focuses intensely on accuracy and quality, identifying root causes, dampening variation at mapping control limits. Here's a huge warning though. Kapag ginamit ninyo ang Lean ng walang Six Sigma, ang mangyayari lang is mas mabilis ninyong ipapasa ang mga defects and errors papunta sa mga customers ninyo. That's a disaster. Kailangan natin ng mas komprehensibong solusyon.
And that is exactly why we must fuse both methodologies. Pinagsasama natin ang Lean Speed at ang Six Sigma Accuracy. At sinong magpapatakbo nito? Ang inyong cross-functional teams. Kasi wala namang mas nakakaintindi sa proseso kundi kayong gumagawa nito araw-araw, right? Ang logic ng fusion na ito is to build a powerhouse strategy na nagagaranti ng continuous workflow without sacrificing structural accuracy. You basically achieve continuous, high-quality flow at the exact lowest operational cost. So paano ba talaga ito nakakaapekto sa bottom line ninyo?
Which brings us to Section 5, the financial bottom line. I-connecta natin ang lahat ng ito sa mga resulta ng inyong mismong proyekto.
Kapag binuksan ninyo ang inyong project charter workbook, lalo na sa financial impact section, you have to be highly accurate. Please, wag lang kayong tumingin sa 5% QA failure rate as just some abstract na porsyento sa tracker. The crucial point here is to calculate the true internal failure cost. I-multiply rin nyo ang 5% failure rate na yan sa actual na labor hours na nasasayang sa paggawa ng manual rework at callbacks. Diyan nyo makikita yung totoong pera at diyan nyo marirealize kung magkanong SLA penalties ang maiiwasan ninyo the moment maayos ang mismong root cause ng problema. This brings us to your next vital step as a practitioner.
Bilang isang high-value corporate contributor, you're expected to do so much more than just memorize textbook definitions. You need to apply this financial logic immediately in the real world. So challenge ko sa inyo, paano mo gagamitin ang bago mong business acumen at operational insights ngayon para patunayan ang absolute undeniable financial ROI ng project mo sa mga stakeholders?